Scholasticism, a bridge between faith and logic. Welcome back. Today we're going on a journey through the world of scholasticism, one of the most influential philosophical and theological traditions in medieval Europe. It's a blend of faith and reason that dominated medieval universities and shaped Western thought for centuries. Scholasticism developed in the Middle Ages, roughly between the 9th and 15th centuries. Its primary goal was to reconcile Christian theology with classical philosophy, especially the works of ancient thinkers like Aristotle. Scholastics believed that faith and reason were not in conflict, but in fact worked together to understand the world and God's creation. One of the main figures associated with scholasticism is Thomas Aquinas. A Dominican friar and theologian, Aquinas sought to merge the rational philosophy of Aristotle with Christian doctrine. His monumental work, Summa Theologica, is a key text in scholastic thought. In it, he systematically addresses theological questions using logic and reason while grounding his arguments in faith. The foundation of scholasticism is the method of critical inquiry. This method is often structured around a question-and-answer format called the disputation. A typical scholastic text would begin with a question, such as, "Does God exist?" It would then present opposing views, analyze them in detail, and offer a conclusion based on reasoned arguments. This structured approach to debate and inquiry was at the heart of medieval education. Now let's talk about Aquinas' 5 ways, one of the most famous elements of scholastic thought. These are 5 logical proofs that Aquinas proposed to demonstrate the existence of God. Each of these arguments is based on observation and reason. For example, one of the 5 ways is the argument from motion. Aquinas observed that everything in motion is moved by something else, and this chain of movement must have a first cause, which he identifies as God. Similarly, the argument from contingency asserts that because everything in the world is contingent, that is, it could either exist or not exist, there must be a necessary being that caused everything else, and that being is God. One key feature of scholasticism is its focus on synthesis. Scholastics didn't reject classical philosophy because it wasn't Christian. Instead, they sought to synthesize ancient knowledge with Christian teachings. Aristotle, in particular, was highly influential. His works on logic, ethics, and metaphysics were central to the scholastic curriculum, and many scholastics saw him as a kind of precursor to Christian thought. As the Renaissance unfolded and humanist thinking began to rise, some philosophers and theologians felt that scholasticism was too rigid and overly reliant on abstract reasoning. Thinkers like Erasmus criticized its complexity and technical jargon, advocating for a return to more direct engagement with classical texts and scripture. Nevertheless, scholasticism left a lasting legacy on both Western philosophy and theology. So, why does scholasticism matter today? For one, it shows us that the relationship between faith and reason doesn't have to be adversarial. The scholastics believed that reason could support and even deepen religious belief. Moreover, their structured approach to inquiry laid the groundwork for the modern scientific method. Their emphasis on rigorous debate, clear definitions, and logical argumentation is still relevant in fields like philosophy, theology, and law. In a world where debates about science, religion, and ethics are still very much alive, scholasticism offers a valuable perspective on how we can engage with complex questions. Whether you're religious or not, the scholastic method encourages us to ask tough questions, explore different perspectives, and build reasoned conclusions. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious, think deeply, and remember, faith and reason can work hand in hand in the search for understanding.